Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel has been an incredibly fun game to play so far, and the normal and rare festival has been like really good because I've been able to try out decks that I normally wouldn't otherwise play because the decks aren't like really that powerful and they lose to a lot of things like Eldlick and such. But this festival has been so good that I've been trying out a bunch of new decks. And one of my favorite decks that I tried out is this. This is the Dragonmaid deck, and it is incredibly hard to play. I'm not even gonna lie. First off, there's so many effects you can do. There's so many things you can do, and sadly, the game can't really keep up with it. There's an option where it's like automatically like activates or changes your effects or like prompts you if you want to activate. You actually have to turn off auto and put it on manual, simply because there's so many effects that you have to activate in the battle phase, specifically at the start of the battle phase, that if you're playing on auto, you're gonna miss a lot of those effects. So far, this deck has frustrated me, but it's also made me happy. It's really challenged me. There's so many things you can do. It's absolutely crazy the amount of cards you need to know and the amount of effects that pop off. This is only for the normal and rare event, but if you want to play this deck outside of the normal and rare event, I'll make a deck list on it if you really want. That'll include like the boss fusion monsters and some more powerful like ultra rare and super rare cards. But anyways, that's just the intro. Jumping right into it, on a deck list, we have 2 Solid Soldier, 3 Nurses, 3 Laundry, 3 Parlor, and pretty much 3 of all the major Dragonmaids, like Ernus, and 3 Nudyarl, and only 2 Tinkhec. I'm not running the green one. The green one's name is Lorpar. I'm not running him because I don't really like his effect. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool, but I don't really care for him. I'd rather run this guy who's like a hand trap, kinda. It's like if they battle you, you can like raise your monster's attack. I think that's way better. As for the spells, we got 3 Lightning Vortex, really good card. 3 World Legacy Guardragon, never even drew it once. I don't know how good this card is because I never even drew it in like all the games I played. 3 Dragonmaid Welcome, I love this card. I ran it originally at 2, but I bumped it up to 3 just because it's so good. 3 Dragonmaid Send-Off. I run 3 of it. I honestly feel like I want to cut it down to like 1 because I feel like it's not that good, but it's good to just have in a deck as an option. Guardragon Cataclysm. This is just a removal card. It's good in this deck. I think it's good in like almost every dragon deck just because removal cards are really powerful in this event. 3 Dragonmaid Tidying. The best trap. You can banish it from your graveyard, special summon a Dragonmaid from your graveyard, or you can just bounce an opponent's monster like Compulse. It's really cool. And then this trap, I was sleeping on it. I was like, I put 3 in, I'm like, it's probably not going to be good. This trap is really good. It's like an MVP. You can target a Dragonmaid, return it to your hand, add a Dragonmaid monster from your deck, or you can return a spell or trap. Like, both those effects are like really good. It searches like almost everything. The thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is when you have an archetype that says like you can add 1 blah 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 to your hand, it usually says like you can add 1 blah 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 monster, or like you can add 1 Cyber Dragon monster, you can add 1 Guardragon monster. But this deck doesn't really care if it's a monster or not. It just says you can just in general add 1 Dragonmaid. The spell card, this one, is just target a Dragonmaid card in your graveyard. You can even add back the traps, which is crazy because when you're able to add back spell or traps from your graveyard or from your deck and search in directly, not just monsters, you get a lot more advantage and you have a lot more options. You're able to loot traps. You're able to activate a trap every single turn and like stop your opponent and be really annoying. The extra deck is really wonky. I will say real quick, the extra deck is just utility. I just put as many cards that'll give me as many effects and many outs as possible. The only cards that really came up in the extra deck were Crumbling Logo. This card's actually kind of amazing in this deck because you make it fairly consistently and it negates a monster effect as good attack. And I guess this guy's like the other guy, except it enables you to like go for a push in OTK because it lowers the monster's attack to 0. While this guy just negates the monster effect. But I'll click over the extra deck. The extra deck will be in the description, same with the main deck if you want to really see it. But yeah, the deck is really fun. I really like the deck. I'm going to be going over some replays. The replays are going to show me playing against another Dragonmaid deck twice. 2 times in a row I played against this same deck, but they're like running different cards or running a Paleozoic engine, which I will mention real quick because it does deserve a shout out. Your deck kind of like mills a lot. You have this one card called Laundry Dragonmaid, who like sends 3 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard, and the Paleozoics work when they're in the graveyard. They like summon themselves as monsters. They're pretty good. You could definitely, Deinonymiscus is like honorable, and you can definitely run it in this deck. I chose not to run it because I wanted to run more of like this type of build with more special summon and more chances to get my engine running. If any cards I would take out of this deck, it would definitely be World Legacy Guardragon. Never drew it once. I think it's good, but I milled it more than I ever drew it. And Lightning Vortex, I think is solid. I would not change this at all. Besides that, I would definitely cut down Dragonmaid Send-Off to 1 or maybe 2. 3 is way too much. 1 seems like perfect number. And that's about it. Soldier Dragon's a unique card in this deck because when your opponent activates a card or effect, and that's usually all the time, even though he has low attack, you just summon him, you end your turn, your opponent can't like really do anything besides like summon and attack him. And then you get a free dragon that from your deck that's level 2 or lower, which are like the main like little dragons, which helps the deck out a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna jump into the replays. I really want to talk about the replays because that's really where like the fun of the deck is. Alright, here we go. This is the first replay. This is against another Dragonmaid player. They have a different deck list than mine, but we kind of have like a similar concept going on. He's running a card trader engine. He's trying to mill as many cards from his deck as possible. He's also running a Paleozoic, which works really well with the deck. My turn is really simple. I'm just gonna normal summon Laundry. She mills 3, and he's just gonna banish her, which kind of does suck because I'm not going to be able to bounce it to my hand, especially summon Dragonmaids. Dragonmaids have the unique effect that during the battle phase, the little ones that are level 4 and lower, they can return to your hand, and you can special summon a bigger Dragonmaid, like the bigger dragons from your graveyard or your hand. So I'm just ending on a trap. I'm not able to really do anything here, and he destroys my trap, but that's good for me because the trap is so powerful. I can just banish it from the graveyard, which is what I do right here, and special summon a Dragonmaid. I'm gonna bring out this guy who's huge, but he's gonna use Toriental, which is fine. I just got rid of 2 of his cards from 1 trap, so I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna normal summon Soldier, and Soldier, the only fear with Soldier, the only thing bad I think with Soldier is that if the opponent has a monster that's big enough, oh sorry, there's an airplane. If the opponent has a monster that's big enough, he can simply just attack over Soldier and I won't get his effect. But he didn't have a monster, he activates MSD, so Soldier's gonna grab me a dragon from the deck. I'm gonna activate Dragonmaid, the trap. I just flip it face up. I probably shouldn't have did that because he's gonna activate a Paleozoic from his graveyard. I kind of forgot about that. My trap's not gonna do anything. It's just gonna get destroyed. But I am gonna grab a Laundry from the deck, and I'm gonna be able to mill 3. And now he's gonna enter battle phase. I'm gonna flip this up. I'm gonna bring out my like bigger dragon, and he destroys my little soldier dragon. So that kind of sucks, but like I'm pretty good now. I'm doing pretty well. I top deck a Dragonmaid Send-Off, like I said in the deck profile. I do like this card, but I just feel like there could be better cards I could have like put in besides this card. It just doesn't seem that powerful. But yeah, enter the battle phase. The Dragonmaids come back to the hand. I summon the bigger guys from the graveyard, and then I just attack twice. I set this card. The spell card, the good effect about the spell card, like the good thing about it is that the special summon monster, it like pretty much this is what it does. Sorry, I should explain it. Target a Dragonmaid, return it to your hand, special summon another Dragonmaid from your hand. It's kind of good, like not really that good. You can just like do it to anything. You could chain it to stuff. The really good part is that the special summon monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects until the end of the next turn. So if your opponent is going to push for game, you can use this card. In theory, that's what I thought when I was building the deck, and just protect yourself for like 2 turns or 1 turn. So that's the reason I put it at 3. Because I thought this deck was going to be like kind of weak and you're going to be in like really bad situations. But in fact, this deck is just really powerful. He's going to banish my stuff. I'm going to use Send-Off here. So Send-Off actually came in handy here because instead of this card getting banished, I'm going to be able to bounce it to my hand, special summon another Dragonmaid, and his card just fizzles. He doesn't like do anything with it. So I'm hard chilling right now. I'm doing really well. And Welcome is so powerful. This card, if I control 2 Dragonmaids, I can target a Dragonmaid card in my graveyard that includes like a spell or trap, and I do have a trap in my graveyard. I can add it back to my hand. He's a summon monster. I'm going to summon Soldier. What I should have actually did first was summon Soldier first, and then if he changed his trap, I would activate Soldier's effect. But it's not a big deal. I don't think it's going to really matter because I'm able to just summon a bunch of monsters. I'm able to mill from Laundry. I've already milled a lot. I only have 15 cards left in my deck, and I just attack him a little bit. And I'm doing pretty good. Welcome's gonna add me a trap, so if he sets a spell or trap, next turn I can just activate this trap and return it back to the hand. So I feel like the only thing he can really draw right now is either a really powerful spell card or a monster. He has a trap in his graveyard also. He's to special summon a Dragonmaid from his graveyard, but Soldier is gonna grab me another monster from my deck, which is another Soldier, which is weird because Soldier can also special summon again if he activates anything else. He's gonna use Dinomischus, and I think this is when the second Soldier comes in. Oh, I didn't have any targets left in my deck, my bad. But yeah, Downtime, I'm gonna return the spell or trap because I don't want to deal with it. He only has one monster in defense position, and I'm pretty sure I'm able to go for game here. I also drew a Lightning Vortex. Lightning Vortex is so OP because there's so many decks that like set up boards like this, and they're like really hard to get over. But Lightning Vortex pretty much just destroys all of them, and you don't really have to deal with it at all. I just for flex points, I go for Triple Burst, and Triple Burst does pierce, so I'm just able to pierce. This is the second, and this is the last replay I'm going to show. This replay was so stressful because not only is the guy playing the same deck as me, but there's so many effects that you have to activate. Like, okay, so first off, I'm going to start off with Parlor. Parlor's effect's really good. You can send a Dragonmaid, any Dragonmaid card, spell, trap, or monster from your deck to the graveyard. I had a lot of choices. I think I wanted to send a monster here so I can like start getting my engine going. He has 4 back row. I'm going to pause. He has 4 spell or traps. That's a lot. Like, and I'm pretty sure he can activate like all of them. I have Lightning Vortex, so I'm able to clean up his monster before I go into the battle phase, so he's not able to activate Laundry. He's going to activate Dragonmaid Tidying, so he's going to be able to get rid of my Parlor, so I'm kind of in a bad situation. He's doing really well. He has a lot of advantage, but I don't really have that much. I'm going to activate Tidying in my graveyard, and because I discarded it with Lightning, and I'm able to special summon another monster, another Parlor from my hand. He's going to use Dinomischus. Just get rid of my monster. I'm not able to do anything. I was a little afraid because I'm like, I don't have any monster. What am I going to do? But then I remembered this is the normal rare festival. So like, what is he going to OTK me? I don't think that's going to happen. So he's just going to bring out a basic big dragon. It's pretty good. 26 attack me. And let me speed it up a little bit. Just return it to the hand. And he's chilling. I'm going to re-normal summon Parlor. I'm going to send... And then I happen to top deck a Dragonmaid Welcome, which is my favorite card in this deck, besides the trap, because it's just so good. He's going to target 2 of my cards to destroy them. Luckily, here I'm able to chain my trap, which is target a Dragonmaid, return it to the hand, and either I can return a spell or trap he controls, which I don't think is good in this situation, or I can add a Dragonmaid card from my deck to my hand. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be able to protect this card from Cataclysm, which would otherwise be destroyed. And I'm going to get like kind of a lot of advantage here. He's going to chain his Dinomischus, summon it, which isn't a really big deal to me. And I'm able to add a card and keep the card. So I only lost 1 card from that trade. A really cool card is Ernus, and his deck is really powerful. Discard any turn, like you can chain it to things, and you can special summon a Dragonmaid that's level 4 or lower. I do that right here. It's such a powerful effect. I'm able to bring back Ernus during the start of the battle phase, go directly into the attack. And my opponent's starting to top deck. He top decked the best card he could have because it like mills him cards, it gets him advantage, which is really good. But I still have the advantage because I have more cards than him. Also, I still have Welcome, and although he does have Downtime, I have Welcome, which is going to be able to get me even more advantage. And right here, I'm just special summoning a lot, getting a lot of things. At the start of my turn, I'm going to activate Welcome, grab a card from my graveyard, and I'm going to grab a trap because a trap is just so powerful, adds me a card from my deck, or it bounces a spell or trap. And he's just going to wall up as well. I'm going to wall up too. This is what I mean. You need to turn off auto. In this deck, there's so many effects that activate during the battle phase. I'm playing against a guy who's playing the same deck as me. He's activating the same exact like effects, like return it to the hand, special summon, blah blah blah. Dude, the game doesn't recognize that you can activate, like, I can activate 1 card here, I can activate 2 cards here, I can activate this card, maybe not that, I just said it, my bad. But I can activate Ernus from my hand, I can also activate Send-Off. There's 4 cards I can activate. The game's not going to recognize that I can activate all of those. It's just going to say, oh, you want to activate 1? Oh, that's cool, okay, well, that's it. Like, it's not going to let me have all those options. When you play Dragonmaids, you absolutely have to, even if it sucks. Because I didn't like it. It kept asking me, do you want to activate? Do you want to activate? And I had to keep saying, no, 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 I don't want to. You have to turn on, like you got to turn auto off and you got to turn it on. Otherwise, you're going to miss so many card effects. I wouldn't have been able to do all of these effects, which I'll show right here. There's so many effects. I'll speed it up just because all I'm doing, he's sending, he's special summoning, I'm special summoning, I'm sending. I'm having to do things in the correct order because I want to get this card in the graveyard in order to like bounce it, special summon it from the graveyard again. It's just so many effects. But yeah, I'm able to get a lot of advantage here, and I'm feeling pretty good. He draws a trap, which I'm afraid of the trap, and I actually mess up here because what I should have did was during the end phase, I should activate Downtime and return this to the hand, but I don't know why I like panicked and I returned it to the hand during the battle phase, which was like a big mistake. He's gonna bring out this guy to negate my spell because my spell's just gonna keep getting me more cards, and that's actually kind of big. I have to destroy it like next turn during the battle phase. And dude, there's so many effects. Like, this deck has so many effects. It's fun, don't get me wrong, it's cute, but you need it, like, you need to know all of your cards, and all of them have similar effects. Like the big guys have effects where, oh, during the end of the battle phase, special summon a Dragonmaid from your hand. The little guys have effects where just special summon one from the graveyard at the start of the battle phase. They all have like very similar effects, but you need to know all of them. It's a lot, but the deck is fun, and it is pretty good. So I'm just going to keep normal summoning. I'm trying to out advantage my opponent. Right now I'm trying to get rid of the XYZ, and I'm also trying to get rid of Parlor Dragonmaid. I don't want him to keep special summoning. I want to get him off that loop. So I think what I figure out here is that I'm going to try my best to just like stop it. And he doesn't activate the effect, and is this where I go for game? It's not yet, because he's just going to activate the trap, special summon some more monsters, and more monsters mill. And it's just the end of the battle phase. I wasn't able to get over him. Excuse me. We just set a lot of cards. Dude. Like, I don't really know what to say here. Besides, here I messed up. In theory, I was going for the same monster he did to negate a monster he has, because I want to negate this. I don't want him to get any more advantage. But I didn't really look at his graveyard. When he milled Welcome, and Welcome has a weird effect where when it's milled, your opponent cannot target your Dragonmaid cards you control with card effects. So I had to negate a monster I control, and I targeted this big guy. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to negate anything I control. I'm going to use Tidying here because I just want to end this duel. This duel's been so long, so much thinking on my part and on his part as well, or her part, excuse me. And we're just going to return Laundry back to the hand. He's not going to be able to activate her effect, a special summon. And I'm pretty sure here I'm able to clean up, because during the end phase, I'm going to return the Spell Trap from his field back to the hand, so he's not going to be able to activate it if it's like a Dino-Miscus or something. And my only thought here is try to swarm the board. Try to summon as many monsters as you can. And by the way, I did all these effects during his turn, during his end phase. Now, it wasn't even my turn yet, and I'm doing all these effects. Like, it's so much. But I ended the duel with that attack. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. This deck was actually a lot of fun to play. It was very challenging. If you want a challenging, fun deck that there's so many effects, you have so many options to do things, this is a deck. This is 100% a deck. There's so many chances to activate effects, and you have to like know what you're doing in the correct order. Otherwise, you lose a lot of advantage. And in this deck, you want to have as much advantage as you can, just like in any deck, so that you can have more chances to like perform or like create things to get over your opponent's stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm enjoying playing Masterduel a lot, even if it is really tough sometimes. But yeah, hope you have a great day or night, and maybe I'll catch you later. Peace.